Hey everybody, good evening. Welcome to our live stream. We are over on Facebook now, I do believe. Let's see if I can get that pulled up just to make sure. I'm pretty sure we're over here. Got a couple of different monitors going right now, so I want to make sure. Let's see. We got the live going, so I'm looking over to the side. Welcome in. Thank you guys for being here. If you want to join in on the conversation, please make sure you head over to the Zoom link. It is posted in the comments, and you guys can see that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna head over to the Zoom link. It is posted. I'm gonna put it over here in the comment right now. There we go. Okay, so if you're here, you want to jump in on the Zoom, make sure you click on that link, and we will be starting off here in a few months. We're going to do a quick recap of the show this weekend. I want to thank everybody who came out to it. And actually, we're going to do a recap of the last two shows. So, the last two weekends, I have had card shows. The first one was in Shelby 2 weekends ago, and then had the one yesterday in Hickory. I also went to a show in between that. So, we'll talk about all of that today as well. Got a lot going on, and just want to share some of that with you guys. Also, I will share with you. Let's see if I can get this kind of reduced a little bit so I can see it. Okay, what I want to share with you guys is that I got some upcoming shows. It is the week of the 4th, or going to be. And happy birthday, America! 250 years, and I hope you get out and celebrate with your family and with your friends. Do so safely, please, and have a great time doing that. I've already heard fireworks going off in the neighborhood. I've heard all kinds of things happening. So I'm looking forward, especially to this weekend. Got a big parade coming up, and looking forward to that. So I want to jump in and tell you about some upcoming shows before we get into the recap. Today is, what's the day? The 28th of June. We're almost in July. I'm going to take a few weeks off. On July 11th, I will be at Startown Cards in Lincoln, North Carolina. I think, who is it? Can't even remember his name. Maybe is it Thomas Davis? I'm not sure, but he'll be signing autographs down in the store. We'll be upstairs, above Startown Cards in downtown Lincoln for a trade show and trade night, or a card show and trade night. And I think the time of this, I don't have the time written here, but I think the time is going to be like 3 to 8, something like that. So 3 to 8 p.m. I'll look it up here on my phone. Let's see if we got anybody in here live right now. On July 11th, from, I don't have the time. I think it's like 3 to 8, 3 to 10, somewhere around there. It's going to be in the evening, afternoon, evening, and it will be a fun time for everybody. On the 18th of July, I will be at Davie County Community Park. That's in Mottsville, with Grail Promotions for a show down there. I'll tell you more about that upcoming. On 7/25, I will be in Mount Holly with the Moore Vault. This will be a card and toy show in Mount Holly at the Tuckasegee Center. And then on August 1st, it's Bro to Bro Cards show in Belmont. Brand new show, first one that they've ever done. These guys are fantastic, and I run into them a lot at different shows, and it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be at church in Belmont, and I'll have a couple of tables there. And then after that, I think I will be either in Salisbury or in Winston-Salem. I'm not sure yet. I've got two shows scheduled for that day. One is with Collectors Vaults, one's with Grail Promotions, and we'll decide on that. I'll probably go with Grail on that one. And then because the next week I'll be with Fourth and Gold Promotions in Gastonia for the August 15th show. Now, I know that the Inside Pitch has changed their show dates in August. They were supposed to be the weekend after, and or 2 weekends after, and they moved it up to the 15th, which unfortunately I was already booked with Fourth and Goal. And that's closer to my house. I think it's going to be a great show. I'm excited about being there as well. And that's the one I'm going to do on August 15th. And then we'll jump into September, and we got a whole slew of shows scheduled between now and the end of the year. If you've got a show that I might not have on my calendar yet, please let me know. If you're here on Facebook Live, and I keep looking over at the other camera, if you're here on Facebook Live, please make sure you make a comment. And I hope I can see them because lately I've not been seeing the comments until afterwards, until after the show's over. If you have the ability, jump over to our Zoom and I'll let you into the room. If you're a vendor, if you're a promoter, if you're just an attendee, come on over and you can jump into the Zoom and have a little conversation with us here. But the Zoom link is down in the comments and you'll be able to jump in there. So, 2 weeks ago, we went to Collectibles Chat was in Shelby at the Collectors Vault show, put on my Fourth and Gold promotions, and it was fun. Had a good time. Same table spot I had before. I do feel like that show was maybe a little less attended than the February show. And the same thing with the show this weekend. It's probably a little less attended than before. It's summertime. And, if you're wondering why things may be slower, it's probably because it's summertime. I mean, it's just people are out doing all kinds of different things and enjoying life. And especially when the weather's good, they're going to be outside as much as they can. Too bad it rained at the end of the show on Saturday yesterday in Hickory. If it had rained earlier in the show, it probably would have brought a lot more people in. But it is what it is, and that's perfectly fine. I do these shows because I just enjoy them, and I wanted to share this quote from somebody. This was from Ducky's Cards. They were at the show in Hickory yesterday, and they said, card shows are about more than buying and selling. They're about the community, and today was a great reminder of why we love this hobby. To me, that just sums it up. It's exactly why we love the hobby. So, even if I had great sales or lesser than great sales, some people did really, really well. Some people didn't do as well. Some people were really busy. Some people were probably a little slower. I think it just depends on what you have and depends a little bit on the weather. And sometimes your expectations are met and sometimes they're not. That's just business in itself. But that quote sums up everything because that's why myself, I mean, I can't speak for other vendors. I know a few that would agree with me on this one, but that's why we go to these card shows because it's all about the community. So once again, if you're just getting here, that quote was from Ducky's yesterday. Ducky's Cards. They said card shows are about more than buying and selling. They're about the community. And today was a great reminder of why we love this hobby. It truly is. So that's a good segue into um, the show from 2 weeks ago in Shelby. I told you this story. I don't think I showed you the card, but I told you this story that happened at that show, and it just made my day. It just made everything that I love about this hobby, it just made it extra special. So, you guys know that I went to Georgia. I'm a big, huge Georgia football fan, and at that show, a lady and young boy came up and they had been to shows before. We had talked before. They remembered that I love Georgia, and I didn't remember their names or anything like that, but they remembered me. And to me, that just made my day complete. And the kid brought me a card. And I thought, where else can you go that somebody is going to just do that? And I thought, wow, that's really cool. So if you're listening tonight, just know that you made my day that day. And I'm going to show off what you brought me. You brought me this card here. This is a George Pickens card. So he played for Georgia, and he originally came out of Georgia and played for the Steelers, and then he became a Dallas Cowboy just recently. So I've got lots of cards of him in his Georgia uniform, and I've got a good many cards in his Steeler uniform. But I had just bought a card in his um, Dallas Cowboys uniform. As a matter of fact, I've got it right here. I had just bought this one. It had not come in yet, but in the middle of all that, this kid wanted to bring me a card. Now, I did pay him for the card, and I actually paid him double what it was valued at. I just thought it was special. I think he wanted to give me the card, but I wanted to pay him. So I paid him for the card and gave him some extra cash because so he was able to go buy some other things at the show. And I'm sure he did and had a great show. And that was fantastic. But he just really made my day. So at the Shelby show, I sold and I know if you saw the picture of what we're going to do tonight, it talked about some numbers and stuff. I don't talk about numbers in my businesses. I just don't really like to share a lot of that out front. But I will talk about some things such as card sales. And I sold a good amount of vintage cards at that show. I probably sold maybe 30 vintage baseball and football cards. And I have a collection that I'm going through right now on consignment for somebody, and I was very pleased. I did very well at that show for them. I also sold some higher dollar cards that were current, some graded cards which were maybe a little higher dollar cards, and was very happy about some of that. But overall, didn't really see a lot of people, but the people I did get to see, going back to that quote, they were what makes a hobby fun for me. I was able to talk to a lot of people, was able to discuss the hobby with people, discuss, every show. It never fails. Somebody always comes up and wants me to not really grade, but kind of assess their cards and look at what they've got and kind of give them an idea of how much they are valued at. So I try to look up things and see what I can help them with, and help them with what maybe I would pay for something like that. It's probably no secret to a lot of people, but a lot of times I like to pay around 30%. And I know that some of you guys out there, some of your vendors and other dealers are probably going to say that's way too low. But based on what I do with the cards, with a lot of times taking them and putting them in new mag cases and new sleeves and stuff like that. And sometimes it's not much work at all. But sometimes taking them from card shop to or card show to card show, it does kind of add up a little bit. So I base that into what I'm able to pay. Plus, a lot of times when I sell, I come off the sticker a little bit, and card shows are all about negotiation a lot of times. So I know that if I pay 10% under retail value, unless it's a card that's just skyrocketing and going, straight up, that I'm probably not going to be able to make any money off of that card. And if I wanting to just be a hobby, that would be fine. I would be okay with losing money on certain things. But this is a business and I run it like a business, just like I run any other business. So a lot of times I try to make sure that, it's sustainable. Because what would you rather have? Would you rather have um, me selling cards and not taking, you know, a huge amount off those cards when I sell them, or me not selling your cards at all? You know? And I love being able to take cards and share them with people. So I try to be completely fair on everything and give as much value as I can on product. So that being said, um, probably sold about half and half. I mean, half vintage, half current in raw cards like this, and then half cards that are graded like this. So that was probably the Shelby show. Now let's fast forward over to and I'll go ahead and tell you one of the things about the Shelby show is that it's more of a card show, or more than a card show. It's also toys and Comic-Con and all kinds of stuff. So you see a lot of activity there and a lot of different. I think even the kit car was there at the Shelby show, which was pretty cool. So let's fast forward to yesterday's show. Yesterday's show was put on by the Bullpen. Some of my most favorite people. I think that I enjoy working with these guys. I enjoy going to their shows. Yesterday turned out to probably not be um, that busy of a day for me. I was able to kind of get out and look at a few tables maybe and buy some things myself. But it was a fun day, and I had fun just talking with people. I had fun um, connecting the dots sometimes because I recognize faces sometimes, but I don't necessarily remember them. And I hear names, and I hear names, but they tell me that, but I'm not good with names. So I had to tie all this together, and I think I'm getting a little bit better at some of this. But it was nice talking to some people. Um, Sprinkle cards right beside me. If I say this wrong, I think your name's Josh. So if you're here, then I appreciate you because I got to talk to you a little bit yesterday, and I got a sticker. My friend Travis was right down below him with Catawba Valley Sports Cards, and then looking out over the stream of everything, there were a lot of vendors that I knew, and those are the shows that I enjoy the most. As a matter of fact, I looked over in the corner and the guys who were putting on uh, Bro to Bro Cards show in August, they had somebody at their booth that I kind of recognized. I was like, "Who is this guy?" And I realized it was Nick Muse, professional football player, son of a lady I went to school with, and I was able to talk to him for a little while. So that was even cool in itself. I wish I had some Nick Muse cards, but I would have had him autograph it. But actually, I think the ones I have are already autographed. So that's really cool as well. So let me show you some cards that I have picked up over the last few weeks. And we'll just start with I'm going to show you some of these first. I may have shown to you before, but I got a lot of the Georgia stuff here. So this is Champ Bailey on um, on that Prestige. Here's Todd Gurley on the patch, ground up patch. Future Stars, Lad McConkey. I like that one a lot. That's a beautiful card. Look at that. Here is Michael Williams. I love all these red ice or cracked ice type cards. This is the instant impact. I've got a ton of these, and I know he's not a Georgia Bulldog, but he could have been. Arch Manning, his cards are just fantastic on there. Here's another Lad McConkey on the chrome. Thought that was pretty cool. A Brock Bowers on a blue prism. Malaki Starks on the chrome silver prism, and this is just a Panini. Not sure what that is, but it's Nick Chubb on the rookie card there. So I already showed you the Pickens and the Pickens that was given to me. Okay, on Friday night, we had a delivery down east or down east. It was kind of southwest of here. And I knew that if we took that delivery, I was really close to Spartanburg, South Carolina, so I could just head on over to where the show was. And if you've never been down, this is a big gymnasium. It's where Mealy Pops has their store. And I had been there before, but they were having the Carolina Card Fest, I think is what it was. I wanted to check it out because I may go do one later on in the year. And I picked up a ton of Georgia stuff there. So I'll just kind of go over these really quick. Zion Branch on the Fearless. There's James Cook on a gold cracked ice. Here's another fearless Mikael Williams. Here's another one of those instant impact red and gold. This is Trevor Etienne. Another Mikael Williams on a red cracked ice student orientation. Another Trevor. New recruits on the gold cracked ice. There's a Milwaukee Starks. I just had one just like it a while ago. Another James Cook. Here is Sonny Michelle, and this is the NFL passport. I thought it was kind of cool. I just bought I went to this table and he had all of his cards separated by team. I just bought all his Georgia stuff. Well, all of the real Georgia Bulldog stuff. He had some Georgia Tech stuff in there. We threw it away. We burned it before. Here is Terry Godwin, and he's with the Carolina Panthers now. That may be who's coming. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. There's Eric Stokes. I got two of those, by the way. Eric Stokes. There's another Milwaukee Starks. Had a couple of those. Thought this was really cool. This Nick Chubb on the select stars. Thought that was pretty nice. Here's a Todd Gurley card. I love it when they're in their Georgia uniform. There's another Chubb in his Georgia uniform. Look at that. Look at the colors on that card. And there's another Nick Chubb, uh, red and gold cracked ice. Beautiful card in itself. Here's Tyson Campbell on the green prism. And that one, 2021. Let's see. Here's Aziz Giuliari. Giuliari, I think is his name. Kind of cool. And then this was at a different table, but I was able to pick this up. This is a Darnell Washington Under the Lights auto. I thought it was kind of cool as well. So got all those. Um, Also was able to, let's see, picked up all those yesterday. That must have been it. That must have been all I got at the card show in Spartanburg. Yesterday, I picked up a few cards. Most of these were on trade. This is the Drake May I picked up on the Chrome. Also got the Instant Impact Anthony Edwards. That'll probably stay in my personal collection for a little while. This Lad McConkey, look at that. That's like the laser prism. That is a that's a beautiful card. So got that one. Got a few Dodgers here. Let's see. Picked up this card, Ronald Acuna Jr. This is not a high dollar card. I think I paid maybe $1 for it. It's probably worth like dollar and some change, maybe $1.25, $1.50. But I just thought it was really cool with all the cherries and stuff. I thought this was a nice little big league card. So I got that one. Probably will hold on to that one as well. Um, no, I had those. Picked up this. Got a good deal on that one too, by the way. Let's see if I'll take the sticker off that one. So if I want to resell it, I'm not going to resell it. Got a little story behind this, and there's a story behind pretty much every single um card that I have, and that one's not coming off, so it's going to be a mess. Okay, this is Freddie Couples. You guys see that? Fred Couples. This is on a 9.5. It's a 2001 Upper Deck Fred Couples card. And here, let's do this. There we go. 9.5 Freddie Couples card. Story of Fred Couples is that when I was in college, he um, was dating one of my friend's sisters. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. And one day I went out to the range with my friend and he had these new clubs. And I thought, wow, that is the coolest thing. I said, who happened, where'd you get those clubs from? Because they were all the Freddie Couples Boom Boom drivers and stuff. And he said, well, I got a gift from Freddie Couples last night. So I said, well, that's cool. I hope they hit him. I hope you can hit him as good as he can, you know. So, let me show you this other one. And then yesterday, kind of to my surprise, I had looked at this card a little while back. And Kevin, if you're listening, I am truly appreciative of this. But he knew that I had looked at this card, and I think he had it on his table, and maybe it wasn't selling as great, but I absolutely love it. And it is a Lad McConkey auto, and it's a gray tint. This is a beautiful card. Beautiful card. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want it. But I just think this is really, really neat. So picked up all of those cards. I don't see anybody in the Zoom right now, but I see a few people over in Facebook land, and I appreciate you being here. I see that we got 5 comments now, which is kind of cool. Okay, so here's who we got. We got Drifford here. Thank you, sir. Sean. I don't I really don't know why I don't see these comments. Um, I'll look at any Jordans you got. Oh, by the way, I picked up a Jordan Friday night, and it was the so I got home about 9 o'clock. The very first card I sold at the show yesterday was my Jordan, and it was graded. It was an 8.5. Pretty nice Jordan, probably mid 90s, maybe something like that. I don't have any more Jordans right now that I know of. I don't have any more graded. I'm gonna try to buy some more of those. And yes, Terrell Davis was Georgia. Matter of fact, I went to school with Terrell Davis, and I think he graduated a year or two after I did, possibly, maybe. But he was there at Georgia, I believe, at the same time I was, and now I'm second guessing myself. So when I went to Georgia, I graduated with didn't graduate with them, but they started with me, Garrison Hurst and Hines Ward, and then they left and went to the pros. So let's look up Terrell Davis college years. Terrell Davis was 92 to 94. So yes, we did officially graduate together. I graduated in 1994. He actually may have graduated just a little before me. I graduated in December of 94. So if he graduated in June of 94, he or July, he would June, I guess. He would have been before me, May of 94. He'd been a little before me. He was in consumer economics. So he was kind of in the same department, but I was I was in that Terry College of Business um as well. I tried to limit my economics classes. They were hard as can be. So congrats to Terrell Davis because he had probably one of the hardest majors um there. And I got a few Terrell Davis cards. I'll send you pics here in a bit. Okay, fantastic. I got a few too that I keep. I try to collect his stuff. I try to collect I think Champ Bailey was there at the end of the time. Um and of course Hines Ward and Garrison Hurst. Those are the ones that I collect probably the most. And then I collect the new guys like McConkey and looking for a lot of Gunnar Stockton cards. I know that I like some of the old Carson Beck cards and stuff. So anyway, I appreciate you guys for being here. I can't really say much more. I do want to say that quote one more time. This is what Ducky said yesterday. They said car shows are about more than buying and selling. They're about the community. And today was a great reminder of why we love this hobby. So a lot of cool stuff with that as well. I think that's all I pretty much have tonight. We've got some really cool stuff coming up in the on Collectibles chat. We're going to start our weeks off with our mail call, like always on Monday. Don't have a lot for tomorrow though. Um, Send me a list. I'll see what I got. You got that Terrell Davis and someone else's patch for me okay, that's cool. So that show was in the Rock. what is it, Fort Mill. It was at the Fort Mill show, I believe. Yep. So that's pretty awesome. Drifford, I don't know if you're still here or not, but I hope you had a good day yesterday. I saw that you were set up at the market there in BC Kings Mountain, so that's really cool. Um, let's see who else is in here. I appreciate you guys hanging in. Yeah, at the church. Hey, Mike, how you doing? We were talking about you a while ago. I don't know if you've been here the whole time or not, but had a pretty good time yesterday. Had a good time. Even stayed a little bit later because it was pouring rain. So anyway, we've had a good little string here. We're going to be off for a little bit. Um, try to celebrate the 4th with the family, and then we'll be doing the show at Startown Cards in Lincoln on the 11th. So just kind of getting back to um, the shows that we've got. Let's see if I can share this with you. So um, trying to get back a little bit. On the 11th, I'm doing Startown Cards. That will be from I think 3 until 8, maybe 10. 10's a little bit late on that, I guess, but it could be somewhere in that range. I guess it depends. Yeah, so Michael wasn't here earlier, so we were just basically talking about how, you know, the summer is a difficult time, I think, for sales, not just in cards, but in pretty much anything else. I'm in real estate. I know how the summer is sometimes. Things are getting really slow. I was lucky enough to close on some stuff this past week, and I'm afraid it's going to be a tough summer. But the show for me yesterday was probably, and actually the Saturday before were probably a little bit slower than my expectations, what I'd really hoped for. But that quote, and I don't know if you heard this, I'm gonna share it again. I've shared it 3 times, but this was from Ducky's Cards. They were at the show yesterday, and they said card shows are about more than buying and selling. They're about the community. And today was a great reminder of why we love this hobby. And that's exactly what the past 2 weekends for me have really been about because whether I'm super busy, whether I'm selling a lot of cards, um, whether I'm, so slammed that I can't write stuff down and figure stuff out, you know, it doesn't really matter. What really makes the most to me is the connection. And when I've got kids coming up to me, bringing me cards because they remember a conversation I had, you know, 3 weeks ago, 2 months ago. And this came at the Shelby show, but I'm gonna tell you, yesterday was the same thing. I had these kids come around that, to me, it just made my day. Actually, one of the kids, I owe him a little bit because I had him watch my table a little bit while I went out to go get some water, because I was parched and I needed something to drink. But just the stories we have. This kid, he collects Georgia stuff too, and he won't give up any of his Georgia stuff. And I tried to get a Brock Bowers card off of him at the end of the day. Nah, I'm gonna keep it, and I understand all that stuff, because that's the way I am. But just by having those stories and having those connections, it just means a lot. After you build those up after a while, it means more than selling any cards for that matter to me. I had a good day. I mean, I'm not complaining. It wasn't a bad day by any means. It was a good day. But what made it even better was the fact that those stories and those connections. So I think Ducky kind of summed it up completely with his post. And I saw some more posts from like Collector Mama. There was yeah, I saw Ducky's post. I love meeting all of you guys. I want our shows to be about the vendors and actually get more to talk to everyone where big shows it doesn't let you do that. You're absolutely right. Sometimes you're at these shows and you're so busy, you just you can't even hardly breathe, and personally, I like that. I think that's fine too. Um, but um, but being able to have that communication, that talk with people, and I think I stayed around another hour after the show yesterday, and just talked with you guys. Of course, some of that was because I didn't want to load the car in the pouring down rain, but at the same time, it was. it was fun having those conversations. So what I've got coming up in the next few weeks is on July 11th, I'll be at Startown Cards upstairs of Startown Cards. That's in downtown Lincoln. We'll be upstairs. Pretty big area there, it looks like. And it'll be from 3 p.m. until probably about 8 or 10. I'm not really sure exactly. After that, yeah, Sean, I met tons of good people at shows. That's absolutely correct. After that, I'm going to be in Mottsville at Davie County Community Park for a show on the 18th of July. The following week, I'll be in Mount Holly at the Tuckasegee Center for the Moore Brothers or the Moore Vault and Toy Show, Moore Vault Card and Toy Show. That will be pretty fun as well. On August 1st, it's Bro to Row Cards. And that was something else cool about yesterday's show is that for the whole show, we had an NFL player there in the room, and he was vending as well. And I just happened to know his parents. I found out I put them together yesterday that I knew his mom. You know, we went to school together and good friends growing up, grew up together. And but I put it together yesterday that his dad and I competed against each other in baseball. We played on opposing teams, always ended up close to the finals against each other, and sometimes they beat our socks off. His dad was one of the greatest pitchers in our league at the time. Um, I had a weird baseball issue growing up. I could actually hit him. A lot of the players on our team could not hit him. He threw so fast. But I could. Now some of the other guys I couldn't hit very well either. So, you know, it just happened to be the fact that I didn't mind when he came up to pitch unless he hit me and then it hurt, you know. But he was a great pitcher and put those two together yesterday. So that was pretty fun as well. Bro to Bro Cards, they have the show on August 1st in Belmont. And then after that, I'm either going to be in Salisbury or I'm going to be in Winston-Salem. I'm not 100% sure yet. The 15th of August, I'll be in Gastonia for Collectors Vault show, Fourth and Gold Promotions. That is actually the same weekend as the Inside Pitch Hickory show at the Convention Center. They moved it up. It was supposed to be the 29th, I believe, but they moved it up to the 15th. Therefore, I'm gonna be in Gastonia. I won't be in Hickory at that time because I'd already committed. Take the next weekend off, and then we'll start September, second weekend in September. Um, I may not be doing a show that week. I've got another engagement. We'll see if I can get out of it, and and then definitely starting back at the end of September in Shelby. So, any questions for anything else that we want to talk about today? I know we got a few more people in the room. Didn't open up any cards tonight. Um, Tomorrow's mail day video. I've got a big box that we're going to be opening, or at least I think that's what we're doing. And then the rest of the week we'll probably do some type of profit challenge. We're going to do those. We're also going to do a we'll have an interview on Friday, another hobby interview. So if you guys are waiting on that, we'll have that coming up. And let's see, what else are we doing? That's what I think we've got going on for this week. We might do another mail day in the middle. But once again, just because it's summer, I'm probably not buying as much as I was before. So if there's no other questions, I'm gonna get off of here. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me. We've been on here, I think, about 40 minutes, which is amazing. If you don't have any other questions, I will hang it up for tonight. Sean, I'm sorry about that. I saw your sound went out for a second. Um, but we're closing it down this evening. Stay tuned for a lot of videos this week. If you like the content on this channel, please like the videos and please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to build that up and grow as much as we can. If you guys need any cards anywhere from the late 50s up through current, let me know. I probably have plenty of cards I can send out, especially if you're trying to complete your collections. Mike, good night. And that's, oh, yeah, thanks. Thanks. I love your shows. Have a good evening, everybody. Yep. Thank you guys so much. Hope y'all have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.